everybody that is watching this to date. Good afternoon for my future tuner inners. Good evening for my other future tuner inners. Um, what's up, guys? I hope that everybody is having a good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Thank you guys for joining the live today. My name is Nia, aka B Legend, and I'm back and I'm better. And I missed you more than ever. I'm feeling a little what the fuck, what the helly today. It's giving what the hellion, what the heliante, what the hellyberry. Um, these transits have been transiting, okay? The towers have been towering. But what spirit wanted me to come and talk to you guys about today is endurance, right? So we talk a lot about surviving the tower moments, right? It's one thing to thrive and it's one thing to survive. Those are two different things, but in order to do both of those things, there has to be some level of endurance, right? So that is literally the process that we're walking through in order to get to a certain goal. Whether you meet that goal at a really, really strong point, or whether you just like scrape the precipice of the of the goal. Is that a word? Crepices. I'ma roll with it. Yep. Um so yeah, so spirit really wanted me to come on today and talk about the ways that we tend to endure certain situations, right? So we know that very specifically the Saturn retrograde is testing us on like past karmic lessons. I don't even want to say testing. I want to say they're making certain archetypes and or certain situations, certain energies reoccur. Not necessarily in the form of a test, but in the form of, okay, if I give you this plate again, what are you gonna do with it, right? You've seen this many times before. You've seen the consequences or the developments of several different paths that you've taken before. So now that I hand you this plate, what are you going to do with it, right? And spirit is asking you to not only endure this, not just endure this situation in the way that you have in a past like in the past, but spirit is asking you to think about different ways that could be more beneficial, right? So you're still enduring, but what about how can you endure in a way that is like less emotionally draining for you, more fulfilling, and that is going to ultimately push you closer to your goals. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody in the chat? Shout out Jasper, shout out Popstar. I like that name. Claude Lives. I apologize if I butchered it. And then also Forgotten One. Mm, Forgotten One. You're never forgotten. Um, yeah, like this video if it's resonating with you. Shout out to the one person that got the likes up for us already. Also subscribe to the channel because you guys know you're gonna come back. You know we speak that real shit, okay? Only the real shit, okay? But yeah, so spirit is asking you to look at the patterns, right? Look at the ways in which you usually go about handling situations. So for example, let's say you have a brother, cousin, sister, friend, right? You guys might live together, and you guys might just get into it over little stupid stuff like cleaning the shower, or leaving the toilet seat up, just little things like that. And spirit is saying when you get into these situations, right, not necessarily the small things, because the small things we usually sweep under the rug. I'm talking about once you've swept 19 small things under the rug and that 20th thing makes you feel like you about to not only throw the rug out the window, but your sister and maybe yourself if it takes that. I'm talking about that point. I'm talking about when you get to your breaking point. What is it that you do to then bring yourself down, to calm yourself down? For a lot of people, like me and my dad were actually just talking about this. Some people, they choose to remove themselves from the situation, right? Immediately remove themselves from the situation, because then they can get away from the trigger point and they can gain some type of clarity, whether that is through their themselves or reaching out to another physical person, or reaching out to spirit, which in a way is also just doing the self coping, and not really, it's definitely reaching a level beyond yourself, but also in terms of the one, we know that if you're not going to other people externally, it is more of a self-correcting methodology in a way. Okay, don't be too hard on me about the verbiage, guys. I'm working through this Mercury retrograde to give y'all this message, so just bear with me. um Exactly. I don't know who Rodney the Blackman is, but exactly, we just gotta keep going, keep on pushing. You got to keep on pushing. Make sure you guys are getting electrolyte. Make sure you guys are eating and drinking properly. A lot of times when we're going through these tower moments and we're pushing ourselves to endure emotionally, mentally, spiritually, we forget to take care of ourselves physically. And that can actually help you a lot. It's really hard to think and make good decisions when you're starving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really difficult. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really trying. Sulimo 94. I'm really trying to explain it, because the Mercury retrograde feels like it's got me like, and not in a way that I want to be choked right now, but I feel like I'm kind of getting choked out, but I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, make sure you're taking care of your health. Your health is definitely your wealth. Like I'm saying, it's really difficult to give people grace, or even to give yourself grace, when those big emotions come about. It's hard to even know what to do with them, how to delegate them, when your brain doesn't even have, like, the nutrients and the fatty acids and the things necessary in order for you to be able to activate certain hormones and make good decisions. The frontal lobe needs support. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that you are doing the physical things in order to support the mental, emotional, spiritual things that you are actively progressing within, right? So then once you take care of those physical things, also like working out, moving your body, right? Going to dance class. We talk about this a lot. Going to gym. Some of you guys swim. Some of you guys do Pilates and yoga. I just heard like kickball. Who's doing kickball? That's fire. I thought that was just like a something that we did in gym class. I didn't know that that was like a whole sport. But yeah, shout out to all of the amazing things that you guys are doing. What's the thing in track where you like launch yourself off of that bar? Somebody does that, because I just got an image of that in my mind. So you guys are doing lots of amazing things. Make sure that you're taking care of the nutrition and the diet, as well. Yes, pole vaulting. Yes, are you the pole vaulter? That's pretty awesome. um I'm just channeling for the different people in the collective, what you guys might be going through right now. But Spirit says, just finding different ways in order to incorporate, like, Spirit is not more healing, is more effective. It's faster and it's more effective, right? So, like I said, if you're getting into it with sister and you swept everything under the rug, and now finally, I don't know, like they might have left a big old hairball in the shower, and it's like, I don't know, you can obviously pick up the hairball, but because this is the 20th thing and you've been quiet for so long, right? You feel like you're about to blow up. So what do, right? You might not be one of those people that remove themselves out of the situation and handle it on their own. You might be one of those people that need to confront it in the moment, right? So Spirit is saying, when you do confront it in the moment, check those emotions. That's not to say that you don't already check your emotions, but we're talking about getting through the process, right? enduring the journey, but doing it with a little bit more effectiveness in our methods and in our strategies, right? So, how are your emotions? How is your ego? Did you really take enough time before immediately jumping into the situation? Are you bringing up like conflict for confrontation? Is it like an undertone of confrontation, or is there an undertone of like helpful critiques, you know? I think we used to talk about in sales, we used to talk about um criticism versus critiques, right? So yeah, just making sure that the ways that you are going about things, when you can notice a pattern, right? When you can notice, when these things happen, I tend to do this, right? Look at that pattern. When you tend to do this, where does that lead you? How long does it then take you to get out of that energy? You know, I'm gonna end up in the stairs. I got a complex subconscious coping mechanism. End up in the stance. To me, that kind of sounds like you might take yourself out of the situation in the stance. I'm kind of like that too. I got a complex subconscious coping mechanism. So you deal with it in your head like a lot of people do. Just make sure that the other person knows what's going on in your head too, because I feel like for a lot of people that do the subconscious coping, a lot of times other people don't know exactly what's going on until it's mad day. And I'm not judging you. Listen, we listen and we don't judge, because I have that problem too. Sometimes just under communicating, because I'm trying to in my mind, I'm not trying to people please, but I'm actually trying to do, the intent is to keep the peace, but it ends up being people pleasing. Okay, so just identifying where those things even lie, right? Before you get to that trigger point, what are the points that lead you to feel like, okay, I'm uncomfortable here? What do I usually do? I usually lean into methods that align with people pleasing. Okay, so what else can I do to better and more effectively endure this situation, right? And then more than likely get a better, more effective outcome for myself. Okay? You good, girl? I'm trying to sip your knowledge. That's what I'm here for. It's all good. It's all good. Let the Bible edify you. That's what worked for me. Location and biblical doctrine for wisdom really straightens it out. That's good that that worked for you. It doesn't work for everybody, but it's important for you to use what works for you. I'm not here to tell you what books to use. You guys know I'm very much like spiritually open. I'm not religious at all. I used to follow non-denominational Christian faith. I was actually, we called it like soldiers for God, on fire for God. I was trying my best. I was trying my best. But you have to use the things that work for you, right? I'm even being called to say, and of course, Westside SC, this is like no, this is definitely not towards you specifically, but for the greater collective. If you guys are seeing that some of your tools are not as effective as you would have hoped, as far as looking at the results, Spirit is urging you to try some other tools, okay? So if you're picking up your Bible, if you're picking up your Quran, if you're picking up your affirmations book and it's not hitting, it's okay to try something else. Like, it's definitely okay to try something else, okay? I love you guys. I gotta get up out of here. I'll be back. I really love you guys for real. Like, this is not fake. I really love you guys for real. And I appreciate you for letting me take my break and go through my tower moment and just live life. You know, sometimes you gotta step away and do some living in order for the messages to develop. But nonetheless, you guys know I'm gonna always be back. We've been rocking it out for about 3 years now at this point. So I ain't going nowhere. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because you're not going anywhere either. Also, go ahead and like this video if it resonated with your spirit. I'm a yay, shout out to you, Salimo94. I hope that you have a great day. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. I love you guys, to the moon, to Venus, to Mars, to Saturn, to Mercury, and all the way back down to Earth. All right, peace out, guys. See you in the next live.